Breaking news, guys. Barely 24 hours. Court denied Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's bail. IPOB fighters storm forest. Send message to federal government. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you are just joining us, please kindly subscribe. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. The militant wing of the indigenous people of Biafra, Eastern Security Network, ESN, has sent a message to the federal government vowing to fight for the freedom of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The Supreme Court of Nigeria had on Friday, December 15th, declined to order the release of Nnamdi Kanu. In a judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim, but written by Justice Garaba Lawa, the Appeals Court voided and set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which in October last year ordered Nnamdi Kanu's release and quashed the terrorism charges against him. The Supreme Court held that although the Nigerian government recklessly and unlawfully renditioned Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria, such an unlawful act has not diverted any court from proceeding with trial. Justice Lawa said that no Nigerian law was cited in the suit seeking Kanu's release on mere unlawful abduction from Kenya, adding that at the moment, the remedy for such action is for Kanu to file a civil matter against such acts instead of removing the powers of court to continue with his trial for alleged criminal charges. However, in a new development, fighters of Nnamdi Kanu, the Eastern Security Network, who held a parade in an unknown forest, demanded that Nnamdi Kanu be released without delay. They also said the Nigerian security operatives on checkpoint allegedly extorting innocent Biafrans and including in profiling and harassment of innocent people should leave the road with immediate effect. Recall that Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa had also vowed to force the release of the IPOB leader. Meanwhile, the Nigerian army has described soldiers as directed soldiers to deal decisively with any threats from the indigenous people of Biafra and its militant wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN. It directed soldiers to ensure non-compliance with the 5-day sit-at-home order declared in southeast Nigeria by Simon Ekpa, a self-proclaimed disciple of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained IPOB leader. Ekpa on Sunday declared a 5-day sit-at-home in the region over the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. According to him, the said sit-at-home would commence on September 15 and end on December 19, 2023. He noted that the civil disobedience was to demand the immediate release of Kanu and call for a referendum on independence for Biafra. Ekpa added that the sit-at-home is necessary to end the militarization of the southeast region. He therefore called on residents, traders, market women, and companies to adhere strictly to the directive. However, in a military signal exclusively obtained by Sahara reporters, the army directed its personnel to deal decisively with any threat from IPOB and ESN to ensure non-compliance with Ekpa's order. Simon Ekpa rose to prominence in July 2021 after he was announced as the lead broadcaster of Radio Biafra. But shortly after his appointment, IPOB announced his disengagement because he refused to sign the rules of engagement regarding the operations of the radio station. However, the Finland-based Nigerian has repeatedly pledged allegiance to Kanu and support for Biafra agitation, despite leading a faction of the IPOB called Autopilot. He recently declared himself as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Nigerians, yesterday, on Friday, December 15, the Supreme Court reversed the decision of the Appeal Court discharging and acquittal of leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, on the case of terrorism against him. Nigerian News reports that the Appeal Court held that although he was illegally brought back to Nigeria from Kenya when he jumped bail, according to the Nigerian government, that development could not have divested the trial court of the jurisdiction to continue his trial. The court, in a unanimous decision by a 5-member panel of justice, acknowledged that the federal government acted irresponsibly when it forcefully brought Kanu back to the country from Kenya against all known laws. It, however, held that it was not enough to divest the trial court of its jurisdiction to continue with the case. According to the Supreme Court, there is no legislation in the country that stripped the trial court of the jurisdiction to go ahead with Kanu's case despite the illegal action that the federal government took against him. So, in the judgment that was prepared by Justice Garaba Muhammad, but read by Justice Emmanuel Agim, the Appeal Court held that the remedy opened for Kanu was for him to institute a civil action against the government. So the court, however, stated that the federal government must be conscious of its image both locally and internationally, even as it knocked the trial court for revoking Kanu's bail after he escaped to save his life following the invasion of his home by security agents. So what is it is that Kanu remain in custody. So the trial continues. So guys, what's your take on this? Let's hear from you. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section, please. If you're just joining us, subscribe to this channel and don't forget to give us